Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. We are talking about Survivor 20 winners. No, not winners at War, heroes versus villains. And it's the merge.
This episode.
Sarah, I thought the last one was good with the dramatic reading of JT's love letter to Russell.
That was really good.
The chat with Colby and Russell on the platforms during the challenge. So many great moments last episode.
So good.
But this one has a moment that I've seen. I have not seen this season, as you know, but I have seen this tribal. This tribal is on top 10 lists of greatest idol plays, greatest Survivor moments. This is truly iconic.
Yes, it is. This is one of the many reasons we love Parvati. This is one of those, I think it's one of the most epic merge episodes, but just tribal-wise for sure.
And
insane.
I loved it so much.
So good. So let's dive into all the goodness.
It is day 25 at the beginning, and the heroes are ready for a change. They are.
And it's 5-5. We got 5 on each team.
Right.
Tribe.
And so they must be thinking how much longer are we going to go before it's the merge?
Right.
This is not that many people left in the game. I think we said before, recapping this season, usually the merge happens at 13 people. So they're how much more time do we have to wait before we get the merge feast? I'm let's get this over.
Right. A day 25 merge is late. And I can imagine because they have been sitting with those same 5 people for quite a while in Survivor terms, that you really would be this is getting old. I can't do this. Going to tribal at least does shake it up a little bit.
Yeah, right. You get to kick out that person who's annoying the crap out of you, you know?
These 5 are just please, anything, please, Survivor, let's do something with our lives. They do find a trunk, a box.
Yeah, it's locked. They need a key. Locked. And companies are coming, so clean up the camp, wash your armpits because people are coming over. Okay.
Yeah. So then we jump over to villains.
The villains, right?
And they're the ones who find the key. They find the key and the map to the heroes' camp. So they're the merge is here. Let's go. Let's go.
No one is more excited than Sandra. She's show me that map. I need to see proof that I'm going over to the heroes' camp because all y'all are going to vote me out. So I need to change the scenery too.
100%. She is ready to go. They do a little powwow, Russell's group, minus Sandra, obviously.
Yes.
They've got to get their story straight before they head over to the heroes.
What are we going to tell them? So they decide, okay, we got to tell them that Russell played the idol on himself, just like JT told him to. He followed the rules, but Parvati had her own idol. And so she saved herself, and then we had to vote out Courtney, so they kind of all get on the same page.
Sure. And they love it. And it's amazing. Sandra is trying to eavesdrop, but we don't think that actually.
I don't think that actually worked. No, because we would have heard her use that information later in the episode and she doesn't. Yeah. So I don't think she actually overheard anything. It's great when they actually walk over to the camp because who's at the front of the train? Parvati. And she's the last person JT's expecting to see. He's is that Parvati?
They're
what is going on?
They're in single file and they purposely have Parvati leading this line and they purposely have Russell behind the box. You can't even see, you're looking, you can't even see him.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what the heroes are doing. They're where's Russell? Oh my God, it's Parvati. What's happening? And of course, immediately JT's she must have had an idol. And I'm just
JT thinks he knows everything. JT thinks he knows everything. He's she must have played an idol, but that's great because that means no idols are left. So, okay.
Well, as long as you know.
Yeah.
Yep. As long as JT knows, then that's absolutely it. Of course.
Yeah. Go ahead and convince yourself of that.
They open the trunk. They have their little mini feast compared to these days.
I mean, it is meager compared to the Last Supper style prepared chef's table that they get now. They just got a box of meat. I think is it even cooked meat? Not that I care.
It was cooked, but it was a pig's head. They got a pig's head and some apples.
Yeah.
No, thank
That's a merge
you.
feast. Yeah.
I'll pass. But that's delicious to them as they scrape the forehead off of this pig. Great.
Right. Now, Parvati is a bit perturbed. She does not feel like a welcome guest at this feast. Nobody wants to talk to her.
She's offended.
Offended.
By the treatment that she's getting. And she really is, though. Like, it's legit. They're all ignoring her. She's eating by herself.
Yeah. Well, and she knows now. She's like, obviously, they're all going to come after me. They won't even talk to me. Like, as if I didn't already know that I was a target. Like, it's clear now these heroes want to get me out. So, like, I'm in danger. And this is just plain rude that they won't even say anything to me at this feast.
Absolutely. Of course. Now, Russell, speaking of eating, Russell is just spoon feeding JT all the beautiful things JT wants to hear.
He is eating this up because Russell, I will say Russell's a good storyteller here. He's got all the details that you want. You know, he's like, oh, me and Parvati stood up at the same time and looked at each other. And then we both played our idols. And so then we couldn't vote. And there was a re-vote and Courtney voted for chair. He's got all the details down, you know? And so JT and Rupert are just like picturing this in their heads. And they're like, what? That sounds epic. Oh my God. Like mind blown. And they love it. And Russell walks off and he swears that he is with the heroes. Like, this is where I'm at. I'm with you.
Yep.
And JT's like, I trust him. I trust that man with my life.
Yep, absolutely. Russell hasn't felt safe since like day 3 or something. Yeah. Now he feels so safe. He's so happy to be there. He's with these guys. And JT loves it. He thinks this is amazing. Russell's just one of a good old country boy. This is great.
Yes, like, I mean, this is what JT wants to believe. So it's not hard for him to convince himself. Like, he gave Russell the idol. So of course he doesn't want to believe that Russell's like double crossing him. No. It is not difficult to like make him believe this story of like, it just didn't work out, but I'm still with you. And JT's like, yeah, it's okay. Well, my plan still worked then, you know?
Absolutely. Now, Sandra has a different story for Rupert. And you know, they obviously have to be careful who can talk to who, right? And so it's like almost, it's like a drive-by. They're like on the beach, just like real quick, like passing each other. And she's like, I just have to tell you real quick, Russell's a lion. He's the king. Parvati's the queen. I'm barely here. They got my last person in my alliance. Courtney was the last one to go. Like,
and I can't talk to you anymore. Like, that's it. Yeah. You know, she's like, I can't be seen talking to you, but just so you know, like, I'm on the bottom. Russell's running this stuff.
Yeah.
Just take a look and you'll see.
Head is like, what?
Yeah. No, it's like the clouds parted and Rupert saw the truth. He saw the light, you know, and he goes to JT now. I think he goes to JT and Amanda and then Candace separately. And he's trying to tell him, like, Russell is not to be believed. He is not on our side, you guys. Like, we have to be careful with him. And JT's response is, you believe Sandra? Seriously, Rupert? And then he says in confessional that Rupert has to be told where to vote. Like, Rupert doesn't know up from down.
There is a reason that he's been doing the strategical thinking for Rupert. It's obvious right here. Look at Russell. Who is he going to believe? Sandra or the obvious truth?
The obvious truth. I was like,
David, I can't.
The delusion. Like, the editors must have been like, I get to do this to JT? Like, what?
Yes. This is some editor gold right here. Like, the goodness. They were like, oh, and then JT said this. Oh, we got to include this because it's all going to come back to bite you here, buddy.
Right. Oh, my God.
It's good. It's so good.
Yeah. But I also thought it was great when Rupert said, I didn't trust Russell as soon as he swore on his kid's life. And I think that's like such a great thing that I didn't pick up on when Russell said it. Maybe I would have like registered it more if he'd like said it to me in person, but like, yeah, that's messed up. Like, even if you are telling the truth, swearing on your own child's life is like, very villainous, you know? And so Rupert's like, that guy, he's messed up. Like, I don't know why you would swear on your kid's life.
It's like laying it on thick. It's just an extra layer that you just don't need to do, but only a villain's probably going to do it. And so, yeah, it is interesting that Rupert's like, that was probably like a red flag that we should have paid attention to. But of course, everyone's sort of like, I think Rupert's just overreacting or, you know, just like getting paranoid. So they do come up with a little bit of a plan where they just detest Russell. You know, they were going to tell Russell one plan, do a different plan just this first time to test him before they really let him into the group.
Right. So they're going to tell him that they're going to vote Parvati so that, you know, information gets back and whatever, but they're actually going to vote for someone else. And they'll be able to figure out is Russell on their side. Well, Amanda maybe is not 100% on the hero side, right? Because she pulls, before we go to immunity, she pulls Parvati aside and they're finally reconnecting, which we expected to happen because they went to finals together in Micronesia.
Right. They've played together before, but again, like everyone's got to be like real cautious of like who's talking to who. So it is day 27 before they are actually able to like sneak off together, have a little chat. And both of them are saying like, yeah, I do want to work with you. Like it's weird to be separated from you. And they're kind of giving each other like half truths. They're giving each other like a little bit of info, but not the full story.
Yeah. And Parvati, I think you can kind of see that Parvati senses it, right? Like she's kind of like staring right at Amanda, and Amanda's eyes are the ones who are kind of shifting a little bit. And Parvati's like maintaining this like stare into her soul. And so that's like Parvati, like trying to read the micro expressions kind of thing, you know? And that's one of the challenges I think of a late merge, like pre-game relationships are difficult to kind of like put into effect on day 27. Like Amanda's been working with heroes for what, 2/3 of this game now. And it's hard to shift course at this point. So like, I understand why Amanda's squirming a little bit, but she's making it a little too obvious that she's squirming, and you can't.
Amanda's not a good liar, but she does do well enough that Parvati reveals very big information that she has an idol. Like Parvati does reveal that. So I do feel like she's trying to work with Amanda, but Amanda does also say like Parvati will win. I mean, Amanda sat next to Parvati and Parvati beat her. So you know, yes, I'd like to work with you a little bit, but I also know that you can beat me. So do I want to be, you know,
exactly
true allies? Probably not. So yes, they have that conversation before immunity. And then this immunity is so fun to watch.
Yes.
Big
poll. My God. Yep. We saw it on Winners at War.
We did. We just saw it.
We did. And Parvati did not get to play on Winners at War. But she really does well.
This comp. I remember there being, you know, posts of Parvati in her little yoga dances off of the
just
thing,
chilling.
Being like, we missed seeing her on the post again. Yeah, because she is just like, what? Here we are.
Jerry's like,
I lift my leg up here. Where's she?
Oh yeah, Jerry is stunned. She's like, how are you doing that? Like, and Parvati's like, I don't know.
I don't know. Do you just lean on it like this? Is this how you do this comp? Should I try a different foot? Like
she really does look like she's leaning on the pole in midair. Like I don't know how it's possible.
Right. She is like an acrobatic dancer or something right now.
Right.
But it's challenging for other people. Colby and Sandra just like immediately down.
I was a bit surprised that Colby was out so early. I mean, so was
you and Jeff.
Like, Jeff was shocked. Like Colby, bro, like the difference with which Jeff treats Colby and Candace later is a bit telling. But Jeff is like, Colby, what happened? My dude, like you just stepped off. And Colby's like, well, it's just not really my thing. And Jeff's like, but you didn't even try, man. Like what happened? And Colby's like, well, we just did a foot balance thing last time and I was first out. So like, I just know this isn't my forte. Chill, like relax.
Yeah. Jeff's like, Broseph, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on. But it is really weird that Russell with a broken toe is like outlasting Colby. But anyway, he's next
Rupert,
one down.
mean, right?
Oh, I'm sorry, Rupert. Who'd I say?
Russell.
Russell is next down, then Rupert. Rupert outlasted Colby and Russell.
Yeah.
We do get down to 4 ladies and only 1 hero left. So villains are looking good in this challenge.
They are. It's Jerry, Candace, Parvati, and Danielle. And Jerry is talking about dehydration. She's like really feeling it. She can't do it anymore. So she steps off. And there's like a lot of celebration about like 90 minutes. You made it an hour and a half. Like incredible. Good job, Jerry. And now it's Candace, Parvati, and Danielle. Candace now does not get quite the exit treatment from this challenge.
Jeffrey thinks that he needs to go in on Candace before you get down here, Candace. Just for no reason, you're gonna step down. And I was like, no reason. She's been up there for more than an hour and a half. I don't know how long, but Jerry was an hour and a half. So is that not a reason?
As if they're like taking a nap for 90 minutes. And he's like, well, for no reason, you're just gonna wake up. You know, it's like this is not a leisure activity. Like her muscles are tired. Her feet hurt. Like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about, Jeffrey? I was appalled at that whole scenario. I can't believe Candace didn't chew him out. But Candace is like, I'm done. Thanks so much. So Danielle and Parvati do a little check-in. And
I think they did some flips in the air while they were hanging onto the pole and like, you know, did a tap dance and then finally decided like, okay, well, Parvati has an idol. So why don't you just step down, do like a backflip somersault, you know, triple axel and land it. Yeah.
And then stick it like a gymnast, okay? But Parvati does agree to that. She has an idol. She's going to let her girl Danielle take the immunity. And so she like comes down, which does pique a little, you know, the heroes do notice.
Yeah. They're like, why is Parvati handing it to Danielle? That suggests some kind of feeling of security, which she shouldn't have. You know, it is setting off some alarm bells, but Danielle wins the first individual immunity. Great for her, great for the villains. Now the heroes have to decide, are we going to vote off Sandra or are we going to vote off Jerry? And because, you know, Parvati's off the table because this is the test for Russell. Obviously, Russell's off the table because they think that he's their number one.
They love him.
JT does. And I just think it's interesting to watch here Sandra be so close to being the vote 2 tribals in a row, knowing how this is going to go in the end. And I'm like, it's just like, oh, it's so close to being Sandra, but she like makes her way through. And it's just one comment of like, well, we just saw the challenge. Like Sandra stepped right off and Jerry lasted to the final 4. Like Jerry's a bigger physical threat. So maybe we need to target Jerry.
Yep, absolutely. There's a little bit of discussion, you know, but it does seem like Jerry seems to be the more of the challenge threat, which is true. Jerry is the challenge threat. Oh, yeah. So it does seem like they are leaning that way. But Russell is so excited because he gets to give his idol to Parvati.
Oh, yeah. Takes it out of his pocket. Parvati, you're the target. And you need to play this tonight. I'm saving you. And she's like, Russell.
She's like,
come on, you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you.
And he gets to feel like a savior. You know, she's just building him up.
Yes. Yes.
And he doesn't really fully realize what's happening there.
No, he does not realize what's happening at all. First off, the heroes have told him that Parvati's the one, so he thinks he's saving Parvati. And he doesn't know that Parvati has an idol.
She could save herself.
Yeah. And she could have said to him, it's okay, Russell, I've got one. But she doesn't.
No.
She does her adorable giggle and she makes him feel like such a savior. And she's so excited to save herself with it.
Yeah.
And then she tells us to the camera she must be the biggest threat out here.
She's like, I get it now. Like, I am the most dangerous player here because I have two idols that have been, they were both, oh no, she found one herself.
Yeah.
And one was given to her. But she's like, yeah, everybody's right. Yeah. I am the player to beat.
Yep. So true.
Yep.
She has a little convo with Amanda.
Yes, right. And Amanda is like, I think you just got to play that idol, you know, like you are in danger, you're the target. And again, it's just like not the best social game from Amanda, you know.
She's not good. She's obviously awkward and not being truthful. Like she's like, I just don't know. I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do. I don't have any power. And like, I think just to be safe, like you got to play it on yourself. And like, you can't do, again, you cannot do this with Parvati. Like you have to be a better liar with her.
Yes. I mean, if you like stand back and look, like we get the ability to do so because the camera is like back on both of them. Mm-hmm. Like you mentioned, Parvati is like so grounded. She is 100% still and looking at Amanda in her eyes. She is observing this entire thing. Whereas Amanda is like shifting and like, I don't know, and like, oh. And the only thing that Amanda is making very clear is that Parvati should play the idol for herself. She's like, but for yourself.
Yeah, right. Make sure it's for you. Make sure it's for you.
Okay, well, Parvati is a better player. Sorry, Amanda, but she is. And she can decipher like what's happening, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So again, it's like, it's that case of like, you're laying it on a little too thick and Parvati's picking up on it. You know, JT and Rupert did not pick up on it when Russell was laying it on too thick. But
they are not better players.
Yeah, right. So we go into tribal and initially it's banana warfare because we got some segments earlier about Parvati and Danielle like helping themselves a little too liberally with the plantains. And Rupert's like, you know, we got a way of doing things around the heroes camp. And when we got green bananas, we let them ripen, you know. He's just so sour about the banana situation.
Seriously. And ultimately it is. It's like a couple coming together to get married or something. It's like you have two different ways. I couldn't find any music. Oh. Hi,
Siri.
Siri is just talking to me randomly for no reason whatsoever. I'm not talking to you whatsoever. Okay. It's that kind of stuff that you're like, they're listening in on us. We're all living Big Brother. Okay.
Always. Yeah.
But yeah, it's two married couples moving into single couples, whatever. Okay. People now have to learn to live together. You get what I'm saying.
Ruined your analogy. God.
Thanks a lot, Siri. You get it. Moving on. What else happens?
Now, they're also talking about like there's a lot of paranoia, obviously. It always happens with the merge, but like this one is especially kind of potent because it's like 5-5. Like no one side has the advantage. And so everybody is being super cautious and like kind of sticking with their tribe. You know, Jerry is talking about how JT had a wall up and wouldn't talk to anybody. Parvati's like, literally no one spoke to me. So I get it. I'm a threat, but like, I just felt very isolated today. And, you know, I guess I know that they're coming after me, you know, but like nobody wanted to talk to anybody in this merge situation.
Yes. Okay. So we get some votes. We actually get a lot of votes.
Yeah, we do. We get 6 votes. We see Russell, Parvati, and Jerry vote for JT, which is no surprise. They've been talking about getting JT out since the beginning of the episode. And Amanda, Rupert, and Candace vote Jerry. So we know it's one or the other.
Yeah. And we know, okay, they chose Jerry over Sandra, basically, is what we're learning from that for sure. I love that Russell's like, I'm voting JT because of your dumb move. And then Parvati says, I'm voting for JT and with my love letter. Like, this is my love letter. Just like JT wrote a letter. I loved those little comments.
Yeah.
But then this is when things get really good.
This is so good. And I don't even think Parvati knew how good it was. The order in which she played the idols. Like she knew like, I'm going to play 2 idols and it's going to be huge because nobody's going to like, not even Russell's going to see this coming, right? Like the heroes have no idea, obviously. And Russell doesn't even know that I have this second idol. So this is going to be good. But the fact that she gave one to Sandra first.
Yes.
And you see the heroes are kind of like, yeah. Woo, dodge that bullet. Okay, she like, played the idol.
They're like, okay, yes, she has an idol, and she didn't play it on herself, but she played it on the wrong person. They're like hee.
They're like high-fiving in their heads, like, hey, we're still good. And then she's like, oh, and also, Jeff, I want to play this one for Jerry.
Just really want to make sure that we are very safe and have the advantage here.
Well, and I love how she's like, I don't want to watch green bananas turn yellow by myself, so I'm going to save my little villainous girls here.
That was such a good line. That was so good. Yeah, she hands it to Jerry. Sandra and Jerry are legitimately like, what? What's happening?
And I think especially Sandra, because she knew she was on the outs with the villains. And she's like, wait, you're saving me? And I think she's also thinking you're not saving yourself. But okay, like Sandra's not going to say no, So Sandra and Jerry both play the idols for themselves.
And JT, and the heroes, Colby too, their face, this is when we get the great looks. Yeah. They are like, oh crap, she has a second idol, and oh crap, she played it on the person that we voted for.
So now they know that one of them is going home, like a hero is going to go home. We see all 5 Jerry votes, and then we see that one JT vote, and he knows, he might have started packing up his bag immediately because he was like, this is, they got me,
Yep.
And he, shakes Russell's hand because I guess he has mad respect for Russell concocting this plan to get him out.
Well, you give props to the man for sure.
And then what's the parting message? What's the moral of this story, do you think, Sarah?
So, what I found fascinating when he's doing his goodbye confessional, he has left, he's been played, he is out. And he says, I feel like an idiot. I was just voted out with my own idol. Fair. Yeah. Yes, you did. And then he ends it with, never trust women. JT, what is your damage? What are you seeing a therapist about it? Because there are some deep-rooted concerns here about females. Literally, you jump to the conclusion of an all-female alliance because I guess that's the most terrifying thing in the world. Right. And then Russell outplayed you.
Yeah.
And you're still can't trust women?
It's great. JT, the lesson here is don't trust yourself, because all episode long, we saw you knowing what the obvious truth was. And Parvati's still here. That means she played an idol, but that means there's no idols left. He acted like he knew everything for certain all episode, but he's not questioning his own judgment at the end of the day. He's saying, these women got me. You can't trust women. Oh my God.
Russell's not a woman, so I'm not seeing the connection here.
And I don't clearly Russell is in on it because he gave his idol to Parvati. So F off with that, don't trust Parvati. I can't with that.
So JT has issues, and that's another story. But we do get a little moment where Russell is a little surprised at Parvati, and Parvati is a little winky to Russell. And he's like, what you got some explaining to do? And she's like, what are you talking about? Secret.
Secret. Yeah. Which I'm sure he was like,
because she's a queen.
Parvati.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's mad. He's going to be a little mad.
Of course.
He doesn't like to be left out of something. He is the king. He's in charge.
And I will say, I expect him to be sour about this because this does feel like a power shift, right? Russell has been calling the shots, making the moves, dictating play the entire game on the villain side pre-merge. And now Parvati has, clawed her way up to make a move that really is hers. Even though Russell gave her an idol, she had information that he didn't, and she transformed it into this is a Parvati move. Russell had nothing to do with this other than being dumb enough to hand me a second idol,
Yep. Yeah, I mean, she put Russell on a need-to-know basis, and he didn't even need to know half of the information that was going on. So he was definitely out of the loop. He's absolutely going to be mad because he thought he was running everything. But I have complete faith that she can giggle and wink her way through it with him.
Yeah, I have no doubt.
She's really good at that. Ultimately, she didn't want to play two idols for one reason. She's saying all of that to Russell, everything you just said. Like if she had only played one idol, he'd still not know that she still had an idol. And like, that's better for your one person who you've been working with.
Yeah.
But she had to do that to make sure that the villains have the numbers, and they 100% do now. So
I mean, bye-bye heroes.
It's going to be a little
bad news.
Hero scramble.
Yeah. I mean, this is just like such a great episode of Survivor period, but like such a great episode for Parvati. I just love the confidence of her, having these conversations with Amanda where she's just starting to sniff something out, but having that like wherewithal to say, okay, I'm not, I feel like I would just be so paranoid that I'd be like, I feel like they're trying to misdirect me, but just to be safe, I'm going to play one for myself. And then I'll take a guess on who the second one goes to. Like the balls it takes to, not even balls, like, because that is, that's male centered, but the courage it takes to play two idols for other people on your tribe. Like that's incredible. And I also just love, how Jeff talked about in Winners at War a little bit about how they edit the episodes kind of in reverse. They start with the result and then they work back from there, and like how much fun they must have had just like embarrassing JT in this episode, because they're like, well, we know he goes home, so we have all of this footage we can use to make him look dumb.
Make him look like a complete idiot for doing a historic move that got him out. A dumb move where he trusted a villain who he didn't even know. Just so crazy. But yeah. Oh, I forgot what my point was. But yes, love it.
Yeah.
Whoops. I don't know where I was
episode
headed.
For Parvati. I mean, Parvati, this is like, this
She's
feels
so
like
good.
a point for her, in this game.
Yeah. Oh, I think I was going to go back to that. It's so hard to not play an idol on yourself anytime. Anytime you go to play an idol and you're like, but I think that they're putting their votes on someone else. It's just got to be so hard to not actually play it for yourself, because that's the worst. If they had put their votes on Parvati and then Parvati leaves. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure she was nervous, like she played these idols and she's like, I gotta look confident, like I know what I'm doing, but inside I'm sure she's like, please don't let my name show up, like please let me have done the right thing.
But I think she's so good at reading people, and she's so good at this game that she was able to figure out, like, they want me to play the idol on myself, it's got to be one of these girls, and unfortunately she didn't know which one, so she had to play both of them. But dang, that's fun for us to watch.
It's so good. Now, the preview for next week, we see Sandra is starting to go after Russell. She already was like planting the seeds this episode with Rupert. She acknowledged, at one point where she was like, Russell's my target, but like, I can't play my hand too aggressively right now. Otherwise, I'm going to become a target. So I got to like pump the brakes. But like next week, she's like, back on the Russell train. She's like, I need to get him out. He is my target. And Jeff's voiceover is like, Sandra takes control of the game. And I'm like, okay, I'm ready to see this. Like, I love seeing Parvati at her peak and then Sandra at her peak,
Yeah, though there is an absolute war between Sandra and Russell that is a through line through this season. So we are going to get some deliciousness with that. But yeah, she knew exactly that she couldn't just like walk into the merge and be like, oh, it's got to be Russell. You guys, Russell. Like, she's definitely playing smart. Hedging her bets.
She's not protesting too much,
But she might not always get her way either. So we'll see.
Well, she does not, but it all works out for her in the end.
It sure does. Got a couple queens here on this season. Yes. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for joining us in the chat. And I know some of you will join us later, so we'd love to hear your thoughts, especially those of you who watched it live back in the day.
Yes. Yeah.
Next week, we will not be here. We're taking next week off. Please enjoy July 4th and summer and whatever you're celebrating. Hopefully there's something you can celebrate.
Yes. Enjoy it safely because,
Yes, safely.
The world's wild right now. You guys take care of yourselves, please.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. So the next episode will be the following Wednesday.
Yeah. We will see you guys then.
That's right. We will. Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.